No, stop it. We're having issues. Oh, hang on a second. Hello and welcome to another NihongoGamer video. As you know, I'm a big fan of the Nintendo Switch. This is one of my favorite devices of all time, but there is one thing that I hate. It's this. The Joy-Con. And the reason that it looks like this, it has 4 buttons instead of what looks like this, a D-pad. Yes, now this is what we're actually looking at today. The reason it doesn't have a D-pad is because when you play it in 2-player mode, you can turn it sideways so that you can use this as your D-pad and this as the 4 buttons. It really is designed to be like the perfect balance between 1-player games and then whenever you feel like it, multiplayer games as well, without having to bring around lots of extra gizmos. However, this is the officially licensed Hori D-Pad Joycon for the Nintendo Switch. It only comes in this one color so far. It's a sort of dark blue, and actually I believe it has an issue where it drains battery from the Switch, so when you're not using it, you actually have to unplug it. But the main point is that it will replace this thing that was on the Nintendo Switch. I can't find the right side. This side here. Now there's actually 2 issues that I have with the Nintendo Switch and the Joy-Cons, and it's not only that this is a D-pad, but it's also that this analog stick is really close to the buttons here. And when I was playing Megaman X on stream recently, I was discovering that every time I tried to press the Y and the B button at the same time, it actually gets blocked by the analog stick, and so sometimes I was unable to press jump. And so I'm hoping that Hori will make another Joy-Con, which will actually just be this pad over here, but with the analog stick in a different place or something. But for now, what we have is this incredibly exciting D-Pad Joy-Con for the Nintendo Switch. Let's have a quick look at it. Now, something that's really important that you have to know about this is that it does not work in docked mode or tabletop mode. What it says here is Keitai mode Senyo, which means that it only functions in Keitai mode, which is mobile portable mode. It doesn't have wireless communication built into it, and so it will only function when it is actually attached to the Nintendo Switch. It actually needs to have contact for electricity to pass through to the actual device. Other things that it says here are, it does not have HD rumble. What is this? Playarampu. It doesn't tell you what player you are because it doesn't have any lights on it. Synchro button. It doesn't have a synchronization button. It doesn't have the SL button or the SR button, which is actually, you don't need those buttons in Keitai mode anyway, but they're just pointing out that when you're in 2-player mode, if you were able to take it off, you'd be able to use these SL, SR, and synchronization buttons, but those things are not available because they're not necessary when you're playing in portable mode only, like so. No TV mode, no tabletop mode, and only Keitai mode, which is only the portable mode. You can use it like this, you can't use it like that. Interestingly enough, they don't call it the D-Pad Joy-Con, they call it the Juji-Con, and it's because Ju means 10, and 10 is actually written as a plus sign in the Japanese language. It's time to unbox it. Now this is unbelievably exciting. I'm just gonna rip open the packaging, throw away whatever that is. Having trouble coming out of it. There it is, there we go. Now this could be important. It says that you need to... Okay, nothing important on there. This is the controller. I'm gonna take it out of the plastic now. Oh yeah. It's beautiful. Feast your eyes on the D-Pad Joy-Con by Hori, 2,700 yen, which is about $22, $23, so I think it's really cheap considering what it is. It's got its analog stick, you've got the minus button. Oh, it's really squishy. It's not clicky like the one on the Nintendo Switch. It's got the screenshot button. Ooh, that's actually really squishy as well. Squishy. And then finally, the D-Pad. It's also really squishy. I would actually prefer if it were a little clickier. I don't know how much I'm going to like it, but hey, at least it's a D-pad so we can actually roll from one place to another when we're doing our fireballs and our Hadokens and our Shoryukens. It doesn't feel as nice as I was hoping, which is kind of how I felt about the Hori controller with the removable D-pad on the Pro controller that they made. Don't forget also it's got the L button and the ZL button. Now these are actually nice and clicky. Unfortunately, this clicks in, that's really clicky, but it's actually the D-pad that it really doesn't feel that responsive. Now as you can see, where there would have been SL, SR and sync buttons, they've been built on, but they're not actually pressable. This is just where the buttons would go. And also, this is where the lights would go, but you know, you can't actually see any lights here. That's the controller from the side, from the upside down front, from the front, from behind, the L and SL, L and ZL buttons and from the base of the product. It's an unusual color, but I think it will look okay with the Switch, considering that I'm replacing it like here. It'll be dark blue and red instead of light blue and red. Alright, I'm actually going to turn the camera down so you can see it. Alright, so I'm going to use my Hori stand that I purchased recently. I'm just going to sit it on here. Alright, it's the moment you've been waiting for. I've got the Nintendo Switch set up here, and I'm going to get the Joycon. I'm going to pull this off, like so. We're just going to slide this on. Here we go. Nothing's happened. Nothing's happening. Hang on a second. It doesn't work! Hang on a second. What's wrong? Hold on. Controllers. What's going on? It doesn't work. Hang on a second. Oh! Hey, we got it, okay. Okay. Now, actually, I don't think this is the first game that we should be testing it on. Testing it on? I think we should be testing it on Street Fighter. Okay, got Shoryukens. Hang on a second, I'm having trouble playing on this dock. It's a little bit difficult. Trying to go for the Shoryuken. Yes! Oh my goodness! D-pad! We have D-pad, ladies and gentlemen! No! Welcome to professional video. Alright, so I'm testing out the directions. You can see I'm moving back, I'm moving right. Everything seems to be clean. Pressing down, pressing jump, jump forward, jump backwards, down, back, down, down, forward. Shoryuken. Oh man, this is a revelation. Now there's one thing that I'm already ready to complain about is actually I want the D-pad to be here. Sometimes people suggest you can actually move the Joy-Con up and then you can like sellotape it in this place so you've got it in the ideal position, but it won't work with this one because as you can see, it won't be connected. Alright, so let's try our, ooh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, so jumping forwards is not as easy as I was hoping. It's a little bit weird. You just need to get used to it. It feels a little bit weird to jump diagonally. Honestly, the D-pad feels a little bit squishy. It's not as clicky or responsive as I would hope. It is really cheap when you think about it. Now just try a couple super combos. Yes, it works! That works just fine. I'm not a big fan of how much you have to press. Pressing jump forward, you really do have to make sure that you're also pressing forward at the same time. I'm not really 100% sure why. It's not as easy as playing with a PlayStation controller for sure, but it's definitely better than playing with the Joy-Con originally. Oh mate, fantastic. Let's try the Shinku Tatsumaki. Alright! Nice! Now if I just give you a close-up on the D-pad, we'll just want to see if you can actually tell how squishy it is. See, it's not very clicky like that. It's like this. Look at this. I can press it down, and then I can press it further down. But it does function. Alright, now that we've tried it in Street Fighter, let's go ahead and try it out in something like, hey, since we've just got this, let's try a bit of Megaman X. I'm just going to put the music here while I go and get myself some juice. Alright, movement is fine. Dash is fine. I love that Megaman X3 gives you the dash like from the start of the level. Give me this! Thank you. It's a shame that this only works in portable mode. It'd be nice if this also worked in tabletop mode so that I could actually detach this and play with it wirelessly. Da 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 da. This music's so good. Whoa! I just forgot that happened. One hit! Oh, I thought you could actually just kill him with one hit. And let's see if we can get X. Yeah, with the sword. Let's just play a bit of BlazBlue cross-tag battle. Now, I don't need complicated D-pad motions. You can actually play this game perfectly fine without a D-pad. There are certain things that are a little bit unideal, like, you know, maybe air dashing. What? No, stop it. I don't want to watch this. The game's gone a little weird. I can't actually press start. We're having issues with the controller. Oh, hang on a second. We need to just get rid of you. This guy is synchronized in wireless mode. That's the problem. How do I just get rid of you? Yeah, so check this out. It now thinks that I'm playing it thinks I'm playing in wireless mode. Hang on a second. How do we fix this? Okay, we're back. You just have to make sure that this doesn't accidentally switch itself on, otherwise it will start searching for it. But a learning experience for everyone. Super jump works fine. Now what I want to know is, does dash work? Now see, I'm having the same issues as with Street Fighter. When I'm trying to do backdash, when I'm trying to do jump backwards, I'm actually doing a jump directly up. So you have to be very careful to make sure that you actually do a diagonal jump, but as you can see, you can get used to it. Forward jumps, back jumps, forward jumps, up jumps, back jumps. Okay, no, it's not too bad. I think it just takes getting used to. Okay, and I'm trying my instant air dashes, also functioning okay. Now, it just so happens that with cross tag you actually can just press jump and 2 buttons at the same time. Hang on a second. For the back jump dash, you still have to press the direction. Now this is something that's easier than on the Joy-Con. Now on the original Joy-Con, you actually had to press 2 buttons here and 2 buttons here. You had to press 4 buttons at the exact same time to be able to do a backdash. But on this one now you only have to press 3 because you're really just pressing exactly here. Now you can see it's a little bit finicky when I'm trying to jump backwards. I'm trying to jump backwards and it's jumping like directly up. Hold on a second. So you just got to be very careful that you're actually pressing a diagonal, because if you're not, you're gonna end up doing a dash forward instead of a dash backwards. Doing super combos should just be down backs and down forwards. BlazBlue makes that really easy. Interestingly enough, the left analog stick feels exactly like the original analog stick on the original Joy-Con. Yep, screenshots still work, so don't worry about that. That is totally functional. You can still press the L buttons. Now, here's something interesting. The L button is actually clickier than the original Joy-Con. Listen to this. These feel very, very similar, but this Hori D-Pad Joy-Con is definitely clickier than the original Joy-Con. Who knows, maybe that's just because I've owned it for a while. Yeah, everything's working just fine. So just trying it in King of Fighters, having the same issue where jumping diagonally is a little bit weird. Yeah, I got it. Whoa, just yelling into the mic. I just realized I can actually change the brightness on my camera. Now what we really want to try out is these down forward, down back combos. I've got a down back, down forward combo like this. First time, works no problem. Alright. Seems to work really, really well. So there you have it, the Hori D-Pad Joy-Con for the Nintendo Switch. It seems to work absolutely fine. The only thing that I'm not so keen on is the fact that it's a little bit squishy. It's a little bit squishy and also jumping diagonally. It takes a bit of getting used to, but I don't think it's broken. At first I thought maybe it was biased to only going to the up, down, left, right positions instead of the diagonals as well, but I think it's also just a case of getting used to it. It doesn't help when you've got a D-pad that is this high up. When you've got a D-pad that comes up really, really high and is really, really squishy, you do get missed inputs more often, in my experience. So I would prefer if it were flatter and a little bit more like the 3DS D-pad, which, I don't know, maybe other people don't like it, but I think probably a better D-pad would have been the one from the DS, or the one from, or just something similar to what's on the PS4. Now, I don't have a PS controller. No, yeah, I do actually have one. Now, strangely enough, the PS4 D-pad, which looks like this, is actually 4 separate buttons, but it seems to work much better because of the shape. You are actually able to press both buttons at the same time, and also, it's one piece of plastic. I'm not sure if you can see this, but when I press the down button, it actually does affect the other bits of plastic, because it's one piece of plastic underneath a shell, and that's really, really important. And it seems to really, really help, especially for fighting games, but on here, even though it's one piece of plastic, I don't know, it's really, really squishy, and so there's a little bit of uncertainty, like a directional jump. It can be a little bit confusing, but anyway, to quote a phrase that was never actually said, but added in translation, it's better than nothing. Being quite honest, I would much prefer to play with this Joy-Con than I would playing with the original Joy-Con. This D-Pad Joy-Con is definitely preferable to what we used to have. Alright, unfortunately my camera's running out of battery. I actually have to go really, really quickly, but what I just want to say is I'm really happy with the Hori D-Pad Joy-Con. It comes in a box that looks like this. It's about $25, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, depending. I will put a link in the description if you're really interested in importing one from Japan, but hopefully they'll release it in the West as well quite soon. Anyway, this is what it looks like. It feels really quite nice, but I would prefer if it were less squishy and we had less issues with the jumping diagonal inputs. And don't forget, you can't use it in this mode. So once you pull it out, you will not be able to play it anymore. You need to be connected to it. You can't use it in tabletop mode. You can't use it in docked mode. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, share links and all that great stuff, and I will see you in the next NihongoGamer video. Where's the stop button? There we go.